What up, Baltimore and Atlanta? It's your girl, Carmen, the Media Diva, and we're coming to you live in Baltimore at Mix Station Radio tonight. I hope you are ready. I'm so excited. Only had a salad to eat today because I have these chefs up in here about to fill my belly. All right, so we have tonight the chef, Chris Styles, right? We have Chef April and Chef T. I want to say your name. How do you say
You
your
know,
full name?
it's easy.
It's easy.
Taurette.
Tarek.
Taurette Capera Thomas.
What?
Chef. Yes.
What's the
like
okay.
That's my given name.
Mhm.
It's Egyptian. I'm
Oh,
not,
wow.
but my father, extremely conscious,
Mhm.
and he named us all Egyptian names. But
Oh.
Capera's Kitchen
Mhm.
is the restaurant, and yeah, that's it means to become.
To become.
To
I
become.
like
But
that.
everyone calls me Chef T.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a caller already? We getting calls already.
Already?
Okay.
Already.
Hold on. Let's get started for a second. Before we do all that. So real quick. Typically I do have a we talk like hot topics and stuff.
Right.
But I just want to really make sure that we cover all the topics that we have tonight. But I just want to go ahead and give my condolences because it just was out in the news that P. Diddy's ex-wife
I did
and the
just
mother of
post
his
that.
children,
Whoa,
she
wow.
died at 47.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Did they say the cause, or did they just don't
They
know at the
said
moment?
that they got a call from the
Oh, no,
house
oh my
saying
God.
someone was in cardiac arrest.
Oh my
Mm.
goodness.
Yeah,
Mm.
and so she had
Okay.
twin girls and a son. Diddy raised the son,
But I'll
but
be
he
sure.
right, but it's Albie Shore is the father.
Mm.
Right. So I don't want to. I don't like saying this on air, but Nick, Chris's mic. Make sure Chris's mic is on. So yes, I want to go ahead and give my condolences
Absolutely.
to her. But other than that, we're gonna, push aside the hot topics and we're gonna get into you guys. They have some delicious food that you guys brought tonight. We're gonna fix plates later on. But for right now, I just want to get my listeners an idea of you guys and what you do and how you came about becoming chefs. Like, was this a dream of yours? Did you just happen to fall into it? Any one of you guys who want to start and just introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about yourself. Okay,
Yeah.
Chris. So, because Chris is at the end of the table, go ahead, Chris.
Hey guys, I'm Chef Chris, executive chef of Sunnyside Cafe and co-owner as well. Me myself, this basically just fell out the sky for me, and it was basically always a passion for me. However, my full-time passion, what I wanted to become, was a registered nurse and have assisted living homes all throughout the city of Baltimore. However, that didn't happen when my mom took sick. Once when my mom took sick, I had more of a hands-on feel far as nursing, and I didn't like what nursing stood for me, myself, and what I wanted to go into. I didn't like fully being in charge of someone's life and their family couldn't have a say-so, and I backed out of it at that point in time. Once I backed out of it, I still was working in Johns Hopkins and still in a nursing program. I had a plan. I set a 30-day plan. I talked to my husband at the time. Well, not at the time, but at the time of that moment, I talked to my husband. I basically explained to him that I didn't want to do nursing no more. And he said, well, what you want to do? I said, well, I want to be a chef. And he was like, well, where you going? He was with it. Where you going? I was like, we going to get a restaurant. He was like, all right, restaurant. I was like, all right, cafe, something small. So that's when we came up with the name Sunnyside Cafe. We wanted to stay in an urban neighborhood simply because I grew up in East Baltimore, and I didn't want to leave away from my city simply because I'm only 29. So I didn't want to leave my youth, being as though that I was going to put so much of my youth into where I was. So I wanted to still have that, feel like I was still being youthful and still giving back at the same time. And that's 5 years. That's what we played out. Open up at 22. I'm 29 now. Last year I had an epiphany, like, the cafe is me and my husband's. I'm a woman at the end of the day. I still want something that defines me and my style and who I am. So I was like, a chef, you can do this so many ways. You can either start a chef brand, you can get yourself out there, and that was the biggest challenge for me. So I wanted to face on the biggest challenge because I'm an introvert at heart. So I started playing with Instagram, feeling people out, reaching out, paying attention to a lot of chefs. One of the main chefs that I paid attention to was Kitchen Cray. I actually reached out to him. We had personal conversations. However, chef life is busy as hell. It's nothing you can take personal. Right. So I basically started looking at other chefs, just glancing, seeing what they're doing, like what works for them may not work for me, but trying to figure out how could I, take what they have and make it my own. And that's what I've been doing with the help of my husband and my staff. They've been a great support for us this journey. It's been fast. It's been faster than the cafe journey, I would say. It's been fast as far as the recognition and everything, but it's still a little weird. It's a little weird even
but
going
a blessing
out.
Though.
But a blessing at the same. I cannot. There's a blessing. This is what I asked for, and I didn't know it would unfold so much, and I know it's so much more to it. But it's extremely fast, and it's helping my family, which I wanted. So that's basically it.
I like that.
That's awesome.
I love it that we sometimes have in our head what we want, but God has another plan for us all the time. You just have to trust in him. I like that. I like that you start off with something and then you just say, hey, I'm going to do this. And you said you opened it up in 22?
I was 22.
And now you're 29. And it's successful. June. Wow. I love it. And April, what's your story?
Oh, my. My story is how I came across to be a chef was just trying to find out what was best for me, trying to find out what I really like to do. So I've done everything from being a correctional officer, being a bounty hunter, being a forklift operator.
Oh, a bounty hunter.
I thought
did you have Nick on your list?
Oh, man, I tried a lot of things to trying to find where I fit. And I remember a very important part that just all of a sudden came about, because I always cooked. I was the oldest. So I always prepared meals because I came up in a pretty much single parent household. So my mom worked a lot. And we, she had 4 kids. So I would prepare the meals, and they weren't always very good. Some were good, some were really terrible. So I want to say it really started then. But as I got older, I thought I wanted to model, or I thought I wanted to do criminal justice. I hadn't the faintest idea. So my aunt wanted me to cater her wedding, and I loved it. It was 250 people, and I hadn't the faintest idea what I was doing. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what I was doing. I just got up there and said, okay. She said, well, I want collard greens, I want fried chicken, I want sweet potatoes. And I'm like, yeah, I don't eat any of that, but I'm going to prepare it. And so that was the start of my journey, and I realized that I had to go to culinary school. So culinary school was my start, and I just went on from there. I just love it. Now, there are certain things that I don't do as much. Like, I really don't enjoy catering. Like, I used to enjoy catering. I really don't. I enjoy teaching now because I've taught for about 7 years. And right now I am the director at Baltimore Outreach Services for BOSS. It is a shelter for women and children. And they have a culinary program there that they offer free to the residents of the shelter. Mm-hmm. And I find that very rewarding. It's really, really awesome. And it's just going in the direction that I want to go. Now, I am very pastry. That turned about slowly as well. So I didn't think it would get to this point. Right now, I also work with my partner at Capera's Kitchen. I'm the pastry chef there as well. So my book is full. Mm-hmm. is full and busy, but I enjoy it. I love it.
I love it. We're gonna have to talk back about the women's shelter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Because when I with my background, I share I love my background with my listeners. But at one point, we were homeless with my mom because we came from a domestic violence. Well, she was, in a relationship with domestic violence, and at one point, we had to go and stay in I think it was like 2 actually. It was 2 shelters, and it was for the women and children. I didn't care for it as a kid, but you saying how as a warden, I can understand that being around people, women like that with their children, and being able to assist them and teaching them how to cook and things like that.
Yeah, I think we all have a certain idea of somebody that's homeless, and we never really realize the reality that could be anyone. Like, we have a certain idea of what a drug addict looks like, but we never have a reality that it could be anyone. It's not really that far removed from anyone's life. And with these women, I think I want to put the key point in is that this right now is your transitional period. It's not where you are going to be forever. This is a transitional period. You're going to get everything you can get out of this transitional period, because this is a period where you're going to rework some things. This is a period where you're going to drain the system of what they owe you. You know, you're going to get as much as what you can, and then you're going to move on and be better from this transitional period. And that's it. It's just a little block in the road to get you further down where you need to be, and that's it.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
That's awesome, isn't it?
That's
And
really
Chef T,
Chef.
your story, the Egyptian name.
Well, it's I have been a chef close to 20 years.
It's amazing.
I left a career, so I got a couple of degrees. I got a bachelor's degree in political science and philosophy.
Oh, really?
I have my, when I was going to school, my ideal was I was going to become a lawyer, and so I moved on and I had my master's in public administration, an MPA, and I worked in healthcare. I had a good government job, and I had always cooked, though. The same thing. I think, cooking is something that I think you're called to do. But I started cooking when I was 7, making breakfast. I think one day I offended my grandmother. I was always saying, like, why are your pancakes always burned? Why are the pancakes burnt? And so she, who has always been a very instrumental person in my life, but she said, okay, here's a cookbook, here's a stool, because I'm the shortest in the family. Here are the ingredients. You make your own breakfast. So, but always cooked. People always loved my food, my family. But, when I'm in the office and I was, supposed to be writing public policy, I'm thinking about, recipes, food, and cooking. And this was about this was about the time when the Food Network started developing.
Okay.
So I didn't know what it meant to be a chef, but I did a lot of research, and I decided that I was going to take a class to see if I liked it. I did, and I decided I was going to quit my job. And I said, yeah, I'm going to go full time. I had a lot of support, especially from my, my family.
That support means a lot.
It means a lot.
Helps out a lot.
There was some, at the time, some coworkers was like, "You gonna leave this to become a cook?" And I said, "Absolutely." So I pursued, culinary. I have a degree in hotel and restaurant management. And I gave 150%. I mean, focused. I'm an Aries, so once I get a hold of something, I can't let it go. And I wanted, certainly wanted to be the best at what I did. And I trained, really, really hard. My background is in fine dining, so I came up in a time of kitchens when you didn't really see a lot of women, especially on the hot side, on the hot line. It was more relegated to, making the salads or, putting together, some desserts and things of that nature. But I had some awesome mentors. And so I just continued, to pursue it. I started a personal chef service right after I graduated from culinary school. And then I got into education by accident. I was the first black woman to head a culinary college in this state. So I'm serious about the craft. I'm serious about, studying the art of culinary. And, but got into education by accident. Had a chef call me and said, I'm sick. They told me I had to get a substitute. and you think you can take over my class? And I'm driving back from a personal chef client, and I said, sure. If you have a syllabus, you have some recipes, I think I can do it. And I fell in love with culinary education. And so I helped start the HCAT Institute at Anne Arundel Community College.
That's still present?
Yeah, it is present. They have the main campus in Arnold, Maryland, and the satellite site is in Glen Burnie. But I was there for 8 years. I've been a culinary director of a gourmet cheese company. And then I became the culinary director for Lincoln Culinary Institute in Columbia. And so I left there in 2015. And so, the whole idea of rebranding myself for the personal chef service, the aspect of the business, was the idea. And then I said, got a call from one of my mentors and said, there's a place in Waverly in the Able community you might want to check out. I was just looking for a production kitchen. Mm-hmm. And once I saw the cafe, mm-hmm. as what we call it, I said, there's so many things I can do. So, I can do the personal chef, doing the private cooking classes, the meal preparation services, and I love brunch. I love breakfast food. I can eat breakfast anytime, all day long, really. And so the idea of having just a weekend brunch, mm-hmm. and having a place that is, for me, more communal. I want people to come in to vibe off of really what we do. The food is phenomenal. We make everything from scratch. I want people to eat together, talk with one another, come to the table. And so it's been a blessing. The whole idea. I mean, I opened it in October 2016. We started doing pop-up brunch in May of 2017.
What's that pop-up?
Pop-up. So, the whole restaurant concept wasn't there. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to get an idea and a feel, if people would be receptive to the concept and to the food.
Right.
And so it was just, we said some days during the weekend we would just, we'll do brunch. We'll put a menu out. We'll send something on Facebook. And, look, people who know me know that I'm not into the Facebook and Instagram like that. I joined.
My daughter says Facebook is for the old.
Okay,
people,
well, I'm old. So I'm the old head here. I'm sorry. I'll be 50 next year. Okay. Awesome. So I'm not, I'm not ashamed, but I didn't join Facebook until 2016. When
to make her do it.
Right,
oh,
I'm calling April. Yeah, April's like, well, how are we going to get the word out?
I had to set her up and everything.
Oh, she set it up. She set up. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Look,
that's what we here for, to
help me out. But of getting that, getting the information out there about what I do. I mean, culinary in general, we like to say is pretty small, but also very broad and vast. But there's 6 degrees of separation. We, chefs in the industry, we know one another. But so I pretty much had a reputation of people who I used to do a live cooking show on Fox 45. I used to, I'm a competition judge, so I used to judge a lot of competitions, high school competitions. I would do chef demonstrations. I try to eat healthy. So, there was a certain group of people who, knew about me, know me, and what I, do. But, I was like, well, I need to get myself out there. So the media,
media.
The social media
Yeah.
is something that I am still learning about and getting comfortable with. But
I'm young. I'm
you know,
young. I'm 29.
it's
so crazy to me. Like it's wicked.
And so the pictures, you know, I always had so many interests. So you know, I
Right.
like photography. I think I take really nice pictures with my phone.
Your phone.
So the food is always popping. You know,
It's all about the angles.
The angles, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, and in culinary too, you want the food to look appetizing. You want to.
plate outside.
You want people to eat with eat with their eyes first. You know, to anticipate how good it is going to be.
Right.
And so yeah, and so we're just you know, happy that Caparra's Kitchen has been so well received. You know, we're flavor masters. We think about the flavor of foods, the ingredients that we use, and you know, visually how we want to plate and all that stuff. So but you know, this journey has been one seriously of passion. It is a passion. It's a calling. It's not easy work, you know. So and more. I'm just so, you know, so proud of more and more women are stepping up to the challenge, because you know, that was the whole idea. I mean, coming into a male-dominated industry, right? I've been, you know, one of the very few blacks in the kitchen, or the one of the very few women in the kitchen, especially in fine dining. I'm talking about back in the day, white tablecloth. You had to wear a suit, jacket. Women, you know, were dressed. Those are the kind of places that I worked in. And so it was thought of that women can't handle the stress. The kitchen is a stressful place.
Right.
But yeah, you know, I had a mentor who, my very first job, Chef Diane Thompson, Chef D, and we're I mean, close besties to this day. But you know, I was in culinary school when I started there, and it was an Italian restaurant, fine dining Italian restaurant, and Friday night coming in, and she says, "You know how to saute, right?" And I said, "Sure." You know, look, I'm not ever scared. I'm like, "Sure, I can do it."
Absolutely.
And she hands me a menu, and she's saying, "Okay, you know, these are list ingredients." If you read Italian menu items, they all, you know, they're always listing what is in that dish. So okay, but she said, "You're gonna do, you know, you're gonna do some veg. You're gonna do drop the pasta. You know, and I'm gonna expedite on the other side." Friday night, and you're talking about you know, a 200 seat restaurant. Tickets started coming and coming and coming. I never saw so many tickets in my life. But you know, I really didn't know how to saute for the line at that point. But I didn't crack, you know. And so at the, you know, I did it. I put my head down and I just pushed it out. And when she, at the end of the night, you know, she came around and said, "No, you don't know how to saute, but you will, you know, because, yeah, I can see you're fearless." And so that was just to have people that would believe in you. That's just an awesome feeling. And so, yeah, I have, you know, dedicated myself for training and exposing, you know, myself. I mean, I went to the University of Wisconsin, learned how to make cheese. So, you know, it's just so many different things that I have done to make sure that I'm knowledgeable about
what you do,
what I do.
Absolutely.
You know,
I
so that's
love it.
a, you know,
I
a
love
long
it.
answer, but you know, folks know I
But
can
I
talk.
But I love it though. You
know.
know, typically people are zoned out, but you had my attention.
Okay.
You had my whole
Because I'm serious. I'm
attention.
serious. But look,
I could tell when I
I
came to your
love it.
restaurant with a friend of mine, Shantae.
Family has to go.
hey Shantae.
And you came and you sat down and you introduced yourself to me, and we were just going over, you know, the spill of how the show was going to go. And you know how people say people have a vibe about them. I had that vibe. I was getting that vibe from you.
That's
you
great.
were serious.
Yeah. I'm serious.
Serious about what you do.
I am serious, and I'm a foodie too. You know, I'm a foodie, and I was a finicky eater. When I was growing up as a child. I mean, finicky. I didn't like berries. I didn't like any condiments of any kind.
Like burnt pancakes.
No,
made?
but very, very picky about. I mean, please, I would get plain yakami. Now, come on now. What? People know it.
I get plain yakami.
You get plain yakami. You what? How you get plain yakami? I grew up in West Baltimore. I live on North.
No, we don't know about that round the way.
You don't know what that's a plain yakami.
We don't know about no plain yakami.
I just go on Emerson Avenue
I'm a true fat boy.
But plain yakami. But when I went to culinary school, I said, I'm not going to say I don't like this. I'm going to try every single thing. And when I found out was that I like a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of stuff that I never, say I would eat.
Right.
You know, and so, and my grandmother was always one to say, you know, I don't understand, you know, you got to see the world, you need to travel, you got to explore, you need to eat some other stuff. And so I thought about that, but culinary school changed my life. It really did. And I used to tell my students this all the time. It changed my life because it opened me up to, so many wonderful opportunities, and food being, one of them that I think that people miss out on truly because they eat to just satisfy the hunger. They don't really, most people don't really think about what it is that they want to have to dine on. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to have a meal and. And just be so satisfied about it, you know.
Right.
So,
okay.
I love it.
We're gonna go on a music break. You can take us on a music break real quick.
Of course.
Thank you, sir. DJ Big Nickel.
What's good? It's your girl Black Assets, and you're tuned in to Karma's Come Around on IVNX Radio Network.
God, I don't know where to begin. I'm so lost, I can't even pretend. Like the girl that I see right in front of me, don't have control. She's like a friend to my heart, key to my future, lover of soul. And crazy thing, I didn't even know her name. Who she was and where she came from. But she passed me this passion, pushed back my action like we couldn't deal. Said something about time and past not aligning, but I need her still.
Paulinaire asked the kids to come to the cliff, and they were scared, so he pushed them, and they flew. I woke up early this morning. I woke up to a beautiful dream. See right now in my consciousness. 'Cause that's the goal I'm trying to reach. I woke up early this morning. up, I saw the masses of people worshiping the same God.
I saw the struggles of the burdened people, all changed by the hands of the God.
A vision of melted military tanks appeared so crystal clear.
I saw one flag wave for the world that said universal love lives here. I woke up early this morning.
I woke up
to a beautiful dream. So right now in my consciousness, that's the goal I'm trying to reach. I woke up early this morning to a beautiful dream. So right now in my consciousness, that's the goal I'm trying to reach.
I woke up, come one, come all, there's more than enough food for all of y'all.
Excuse me, waiter, I'll take an order of fish and please pass the piece you hear on this song.
The only bloodshed came from a thorn of a rose that was passed along.
I hope the words that you hear on this record spread like a rumor. I woke up early this morning,
I woke up
to a beautiful dream. So here right now in my consciousness, that's the goal I'm trying to reach. I woke up early this morning, to a beautiful dream. So here right now in my consciousness, that's the goal.
It's been 6 months since our last private dance. It's been 6 months since our last private glance. It's been 1 year and a half since we were together. It's been 2 years with my new joint, but you was much better. The sweater that you gave me on our last Christmas always warms my body. Bullets full of distance. The instance I saw you at night in the club reminded me of those days. That's just Serena and Dub going to our favorite pub. No longer is an option. I always feel like everybody up in there be watching, wondering where you at and if we was cool. Sometimes I lie and say you went to graduate school. Fool written on my forehead in bright cursive, writing love letters inside. They all full of curses. Worthless is what you have turned my purpose. Going out and meeting stars. I heard that you flirted, going to radio shows to do my own interview. The host mentioning you, I could smell you. I tell you, what a tangle, web we weave. I smelled you on his breath as well as his sleeve. That made me happy you would leave. I'm not sad, me and my boys finishing off bottles of old granddad. I'm glad you shared your life, you didn't have to. I admit I said some mean things when I had you. I spent more time fixing and less time breaking, putting up with you and your friends despite the faking. I still laugh at the folks you got to replace me, telling them lies in order to get them to hate me. I really love you. You know what? I probably always will, but if my baby won't love me, maybe one of her friends will. And I'll let bygones be bygones, chalk it up as a loss. I just wish my heart and soul didn't have to pay the cost. Touch me in some old other way, familiar taste. It was replaced with spice. You were doing things I ain't even know you like. I guess that's why, it would never work, cause I spent less time in your brain and more time up your skirt. First I was caught up in the physical talk, not worried about your mental or your spiritual walk.
At the bar, I had one too many. I'm addicted to that brown liquor Henny. Got in my whip, a man, I head straight for Denny's. Sat down and the waitress came straight up to me. She asked, "Sir, can I take your order, please?" I looked her up and down. She
She was amazing, skin real clean and body was John blazing. Looking like a goddess, standing there in an apron. She a peach not from Georgia, she Jamaican. Good enough for me like Megan. Pretty girl, I take the sunny side up, eggs with some bacon. But for the food talk, girl, I love the way that you walk. Your body language spark my interest. I'm trying to bring you on my team, get you off the benches. Make love to you night and day, something endless. About to lose my mind, go senseless. You my sweet thing, I wanna lick you till you bring me dentures. No question, you're a 10 plus. Loving your lips, your hips, your legs, and of course the way that ass tempts us. For your love, I surrender. Just bring me your heart and let me breathe life into your tendons. Come on, stumbled out the bar, I had one too many. I'm addicted to that brown liquor Henny. Got in my whipper, man, I head straight for Denny's. Sat down and the waitress came straight up to me. She asked, can I take your order? Her body sick, so my buddy want me lay it down and slaughter. She my cup of tea like Folgers. Good God, you gorgeous. Young lady, you making me nervous. Yeah. She stood there about 5'6", body a brick house. Thickness in her thighs, her hips kicked out. Tits sitting firm up high, nipples they stick out. Butt got me trying to get cheeky. She asked out, freakiness inside of me, ready to cash out. What's on my mind is making love until we both pass out. Cock your top, jock your top, there go the red. Laid on the hood from surgeon, third leg. You got me all twisted, mine's in the gutter. I wanna personally thank your mother. I mean, never seen a queen with such beauty. My dream, forget dreams, it must be my duty to hold you and feel your warm embrace. I mean, skin to skin is the warmest place. I got you, just take my hand, let's walk hand in. Now we his and hers, a king and queen standing. Yeah. Dynamite!
To the rhythm, back and forth like a pendulum, swinging to the beat. Competition, don't mention them. A full course MC, y'all just continental them. Posted at the bar, but you only cop the minimum while looking at me like what the fuck's gotten into them. They can't get a handle on the solid foundation me and mine's standing on. Bringing it live with no disguise or camouflage. Drop the yo-yo and stop niggas from putting sandals on. We handle laws from booking the rhyme management, killing the whack, and now you a prime candidate for your weak shit that makes the crowd stand inanimate. But at our shows, they stand adamant. Tay got the corner blitz on. Got your quarterback scrambling, checking the sideline to see just what the fuck is happening. Wanna get my playbook and examine it. Connected, $12.99 plus shipping and handling, nigga. Everybody wanna walk like, talk like. Fuck around, get edged out and chalk like. Down south, homeboy, we do it all night. Now tell me what you really know about this raw life. Everybody wanna walk like, talk like. Fuck around, get edged out and chalk like. Down south, baby.
I'm always rocking with DJ Black Dynamite. Always rocking with DJ Dynamite. always rocking with DJ Black Dynamite.
I went down to St. James Infirmary. That's where I found my baby there. She was stretched out on a long white table. So sweet, so cold, so fair. Let her go, 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 let her go. God bless her. If the devil don't get her, wherever she may be, you can search the whole wide world over, but you won't find another singing trombone player like Rufus Roundtree.
What's good, everybody? Baltimore, Atlanta, New York, Cali. It's your girl, Carmen the Media Diva. And if you're tuning in, you are listening live here in Baltimore at Mix Station Radio. Tonight, I have three beautiful chefs with me. Chef Chris Styles, Chef April, and Chef T. And while we went on break, we all got us a plate because each one of these ladies brought one of their special dishes, one of their many special dishes. And to be honest with you, I wish the show was over so I can just go ahead and finish eating. Because this is delicious. So we have, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to have you guys go around and just talk about what you brought. And if you can share a little bit of some secrets, I don't know, because somebody might want to, try to cook it themselves. I don't know if they can cook it themselves because I realize everybody's taste buds is different. So you can give them the ingredients, but they can't make it the same way as that particular person.
And that's why I don't mind giving out recipes.
Okay.
Because
sharing is
giving.
giving.
Because no one's going to ever, make it the
like
same
how
way
you make it.
Right.
that I do.
So we Chef Chris Styles, you went first last time. So Chef T, this mac and cheese is popping. It's gluten free.
Gluten free. So
Look,
yes,
it's
that
popping.
means I'm using gluten free noodles.
Mm-hmm.
I go to a lot of different markets, of course, but I like Trader Joe's. So I use their brown rice noodles. Okay. Now it's not going to be your traditional elbow macaroni, but I still make the mac and cheese the classical way. So we're talking about we make a Mornay sauce. Well, it's bechamel, so we adding roux, which is fat and flour. So in this case, butter, and I use my own rice flour blend, right? And I make the roux out of that, and then you're adding milk. So now this is how you make a bechamel. That's a classical sauce. And then when you add the cheese, so, sharp cheddar cheese. Sometimes I throw in, most of the times it's whatever cheeses I have on hand, really. But, traditional mac and cheese. So I'm Look,
Nick over there.
What you said, Nick?
Nick over there loving it.
You loving it, right? You don't even know it doesn't have,
So will this help me lose weight?
Yeah.
That's all I need to know. I'm eating it every day.
Wait. It has some fat in it, but fat is flavor. Fat is good.
So will it help with my man breasts?
It's going to help in diminishing the bloat. That's really,
What's the bloat?
The bloat that you get in this. Okay,
so
in
this
stomach,
is the whole gluten thing. Yes,
this is the whole gluten thing. So for
going crazy all over.
Right. So
Why?
for people who, certainly there are people who have what you call celiac disease who really have a real adverse reaction to the protein, that gluten. Okay, in that wheat flour or in flour in general, right? And so, but gluten can be in a whole bunch of other things as well. But that protein really it has become problematic over the years because of the genetically modified.
I was about to ask.
Yeah, the genetically modified things that we're doing to the food. that we grow.
And it generally
Right.
doesn't show up in that first generation. It'll
It
show up in
absolutely.
the second and the
Yep.
third. Okay. And then they'll be the ones that have the severe problems
Right.
with it.
So I used to take digestive enzymes for years to help me digest my food, and so I would, eat things, and all of a sudden, my stomach would just grow. And so, I'm into healthy living. So I went to see an herbalist and started educating myself on really what I eat. And she said to me, you need to cut out some things from your life. I would cut out wheat. You need to make your body more alkaline. You need to stop drinking coffee, reduce, caffeine. So, but the gluten for me really affects my digestive system. So in 2013, I decided, I read a book that, I said I'm going to change my lifestyle, my eating lifestyle. And so I did that. And so I follow a blood type diet. So based on my blood type, I eat and consume foods that are more beneficial for me. And I avoid foods that are not beneficial. And so gluten is not beneficial.
That's the first time I heard about a
Well,
blood
it's-
type diet.
Yeah, eat right
That's
for
some shit.
eat right for your blood type.
I honestly believe that's true
Yeah.
because even my choice of being, I'm not a pescatarian or a vegan, but my choice of doing that, I feel sometimes it affects me because I work long hours in the kitchen and I'm always busy, and sometimes I can feel like my equilibrium is a little off,
Sluggish.
and
Yes.
sluggish,
Mhm.
and that's due to lack of iron. So it's maybe I do need meat, but it's like I have to find another alternative because I know I'm not eating it again. So I do understand what she's saying by eating for your blood type, because my blood type, when I looked it up, it says iron, like meats. You need red meat, but I'm not doing it. So I started consuming more vegetables, spinach, some beans. I do a handful of beans.
I don't do no beans.
A little bit, but
What?
it's helping. It's helping me.
The look on his face and the way he
But
said,
at
like,
first I was feeling so fatigued.
It's a good night for
when I first
bean
became
soup.
on this. Well, it's been 4 years now, but on this journey, like it was really bad. Like trying to find a new healthy way of eating, because it's like I was on a yo-yo, like, and then I became a junk food vegan. Then that was bad. It started playing with my skin because I was doing that ice. Like, okay, I want something to fill me up with the donuts and things like that for breakfast, and it was too much eggs, and it was coming out on my face, and I'm like, nah, something's not good. What can I do? So it's too much dairy. I cut out dairy, but now I still feel I'm still missing some level of iron in my body, because if I get a busy day, which has been lately.
Yeah, your body doesn't lie to you. That's
Shut
one
down.
thing that I learned. So I've done iridology, where they take a picture of your eyes, and it can really translates to what's going on with your body. So yeah, I'm into some holistic medicine and healing and taking supplements and all that. But I'm sorry, I like mac and cheese, and so I wanted to have mac and cheese. So I just did the same thing, but it's just gluten-free noodles. But yeah, you put the milk in it, and then you put the cheese in it, and you season it up, and you need some butter, and you bake it.
Some type of butter. I'm from the South. We need some type of butter and fat.
So
So what's the second
But,
dish that you brought?
and quinoa. So
Yeah, that's what I want to know about.
a lot of my clients I cook for, I always make the quinoa for them, and so it's a really versatile ingredient to use, but it is actually it's considered an ancient grain, but it's actually a flour from South America.
So is this a substitute for rice?
It can be a substitute.
Okay.
Yes, it can be. You cook it the same way. Actually, you're putting liquid in and then simmering it.
Water, right?
Well, I like to use stock because a lot of people say, "Oh, I don't like quinoa." That's because it has no flavor. So you need to, So I use a vegetable stock, and but I season it. This is seasoned with a little bit of curry, spice, turmeric, some smoked paprika, and then I just added some roasted sweet potatoes, and I sauteed some spinach. You start off, some onions and put it in a pot and you saute
know how to
that.
saute
So
now.
the orange thing.
Yeah, I know how to saute now. Yeah.
So the orange things are sweet potatoes.
They
'cause
were sweet potatoes.
I
that
thought
we
they
roasted.
was carrots.
Oh,
You tricked me.
I tricked you.
I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, set us straight.
But it was good, right?
Yeah, it's good. I thought it was something different. I thought it was like some caviar or something.
No, you didn't. Now. You know,
No, I'm
Nigga's a
joking.
mess.
Okay. But yeah, so it's a nice substitute. So if you are vegetarian, this is a nice vegetarian dish because there's no dairy in here at all.
Okay.
Olive oil, spices, quinoa, and vegetables. And it's a signature dish that I do, and people, everyone loves it. Even folks who say, quinoa, know what they call it, quinoa. You get that? Quinoa.
I still don't know how to say it.
Quinoa. But it's an ancient, they call it an ancient grain. It has a lot of protein in it, and you get some fiber. But some people have some textural, things when they eat. They don't like that. But I love my quinoa dish. So
where does it originate from? Like what country? Quinoa.
South America.
South America.
Mm-hmm.
So where all
so
the
up
cartels
in
and
the
the
like in the
drug dealers.
Andes. I'm in the Andes mountains.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where the cartels is.
No, you think about Colombia.
That's South America.
Yes, you're in Colombia. But do you know? And so, was just in the store, and someone said that now the native people there who harvest this really don't have it for themselves because it's being exported all over.
Oh.
Wow.
So something that they was a staple of their diet.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because it's becoming so prominent that we want we want to have it. It's
Wow.
It's everywhere.
Chris, I'm trying to eat.
I've had quinoa in Africa
Mm-hmm.
as well. So, in South Africa you can get it, and it's a lot cheaper there than here. I mean, it can be a little expensive.
Is it? I'm not traveling over there.
But no, not
No,
there. It's cheap there. You
Trader Joe's,
you can get a
get
bag
it.
of quinoa for like almost $2.99. Here it's high.
Oh wow.
So Chef Chris Styles, tell us what you brought.
So today I brought bread pudding, just a traditional bread pudding with a milk drizzle. I call it my milk drizzle. I put it on my danishes and everything at the cafe. And a cornbread pizza that I basically...
Ain't it good?
So good.
I played with
Man, that'll make you smack your mama.
It will.
I know it's good, ain't it?
I'm gonna find
Thank you.
somebody
I wish
love
I
to
could
smack.
really taste it.
But not
Why?
yours.
Don't look at me.
But somebody
Don't look at
else's
me.
mama.
I'm outnumbered.
So with that, with the cornbread pizza, at first I put in that I was gonna do the seafood Popeye. My husband was like, no, because he tastes it. He's like, you gotta take the cornbread pizza, Christian. He's like, it's new, it's something different. I was like, all right, the cornbread pizza. So even while I was preparing it today, I was like, I still want to do my Popeye, and then I wound up making the cornbread pizza. So. And the cornbread pizza is the traditional cornbread. I use buttermilk. That's the fat that I use inside of that. For the meat, the protein is a sage turkey sausage. Because I wanted to do like a Thanksgiving feel with a twist. It's still a youthful because I'm young. So I made pizza. Young people like pizza, so I did the Thanksgiving style pizza. I added collard greens. The turkey sage sausage that most older folks will stuff in their turkey, but I put it on top of my pizza. Mozzarella cheese, fresh plum tomatoes, fresh garlic, and a couple of other things. And there we go. For the deep dish style.
It's
Good, 'cause
tasty.
I'm from the South. I love me
It's
some cornbread.
tasty.
Thank you so much, Chef T.
I
That
can't
means
eat
a
collard
lot.
greens without no cornbread.
Yeah, it is
I mean a
ridiculous.
little bit. So corn is something I eliminate from my diet, but I have to taste some things.
I appreciate that.
It's good.
It's really good.
And Chef April, what did you bring?
These
I
bomb
brought
cookies.
Cookies. I love cookies. I love cookies. Like, I really like cookies.
I like cookies too.
I do.
You know what?
I love cookies.
Big tail.
I made some toffee cookies. So if everybody remembers the old school butter crunch cookies, I used to get them in school. And I used to love the old school butter crunch cookies, but I wanted to make something similar to that reminds you of that. So I make the toffee from scratch. Just chop it up and then throw it into a nice little kind of a brown sugar based cookie dough, like you would with chocolate chip cookies. It's like a brown sugar base. All butter, no shortening. And I also made ginger cookies. Once again, all from scratch. I made
I'm
something.
eating the
That looks like a chocolate chunk.
Is it the kitchen sink?
Oh,
I
kitchen
think
sink.
it's a kitchen.
Oh.
No.
No.
This
I
is the
love
one
name,
that was at
kitchen
the
sink.
end.
I love
That the one.
That's the chocolate walnut cookie.
Walnut. Oh
Mm.
my God, this is so good.
It's good, and I
This
don't like
toffee is
I don't
amazing.
like semi-sweet chocolate. I mean, it's okay, but I do the dark chocolate because I think that gives a good contrast to the walnut cookie. I
You
mean,
said
walnuts, dark chocolate.
I
yeah,
definitely have to try that.
yeah.
I love
I
dark
don't.
chocolate.
I mean, semi-sweet is okay, but it's bland to me, and I like the
The
richness
richness.
of the dark chocolate.
You try the cookie, Nick?
Yeah.
Which one did you try?
You
I
had
can't
good
do the walnuts because I don't eat nuts.
You need you need to try those nuts.
So I'm about to try the ginger.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna call this the ginger snap.
Is that no? That's not the ginger cookie.
Which one
is
is
it?
this?
That's the butter crunch cookie.
That's the
I mean,
toffee.
no.
That's the toffee.
Toffee. I don't know.
So
It
what
look
do
like
I
ginger.
have?
Are you
It is
sure?
the
I
ginger.
think that
That's
is the ginger one.
It is
Butter
the ginger.
crunch.
It's the
Okay.
ginger one.
Yeah, this ginger.
Okay, good. I'm sorry.
How
I
it
can't
taste?
see.
You don't know her cookies, y'all.
I can't see. That's what I'm trying to see.
That's not a good trait for a chef to not know her cookies.
Oh no.
I do know the cookies.
April DeBose knows her cookies. What?
Good cookies.
Is it ginger?
People lose their minds when there are no desserts available at
These
Caparra's
cookies
Kitchen
are
for brunch.
just the butter-
People come
butter
in
crunch. All right.
and they, the first thing they do, they look to see what's on the counter for dessert because
These,
she is absolutely gifted. Gifted.
That's good.
I mean, I'm biased. I'm sorry, but
I'm
everyone who
honestly
knows.
serious. Like these are.
Which one you
That's
trying?
the real deal.
This is butter crunch. This is butter crunch. This makes me feel like I'm in school.
Right, it's the old school butter crunch cookie, but
They
it's
done
done
did
grown
something
up.
with the new butter crunches. They're not the same.
They're not the
old
same.
butter crunch. This
They
old-
can be addictive. They're
So, Chris,
addictive.
what is it that you serve at your restaurant, your cafe? I'm sorry. Because when I see you post pictures, they be looking hella good. But they be looking like breakfast, like brunch food.
brunch.
Okay.
I love breakfast. I love the twist between breakfast and lunch. I never was a big soul food eater from, that's what we call soul food. I never was big pasta. I like pasta now, but I want any day, anytime I come to your house, I want breakfast. I want some pancakes. I want cereal. So inside the cafe, I created the menu myself. And I wanted the menu feel to be forever young. Simply because I started young. So I wanted this forever young theme. I didn't want so much just a regular pancake. I wanted them to know that I wanted it to be a mystery first, but I didn't know it would be that much mystery who was behind the scene. But I wanted them to think that a younger person was making this food, but they always thought it was an older person. Even tasting the food, they was like, "No, this young girl is not making this food." I'm like, "It is me. It's me making it. I'm making this food." So when people started meeting me and they asked me just like you, "Why did you do it?" Because I wanted that forever young feel inside the food. So I started creating the party cakes. The party cakes is basically my signature pancake. My pancake mix is homemade. I do my own pancake mix, my own chicken fry, my own fish fry. Make all that in the back.
Nice.
Hands and everything. I do all that because being located where we are, we're located in a food desert area. and being located in the food desert area, if you're going to have prices, how our prices is, which I still don't think they had none. But if you're going
so hold on, let's go back to the food desert area so people can so the listeners understand what is a food desert.
A food desert is basically an area where that they are basically, in my perspective, they're basically pushing more processed foods on a low demographic. A low demographic.
I'm gonna help you out.
All right, thank you. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want the fish squares. I didn't want the chicken that stays out and I put in the refrigerator. Processed things. I wanted good food, and I knew I would have to play with the prices, but I didn't want to play with the prices so much that they wouldn't respect my craft. So we played with the prices. We played with the margins for 5 years, and in the 5 years, each time that we changed them, they respected the prices, because each time that we changed what we put in the recipes. So the first year of 22, I didn't know. I had a concept of what it was like to make your own flour, to make your own fish flour, but I didn't feel that much confidence in myself to go ahead and put a stamp, this is my flour. So I went to Jetro's and I played with their flours, and I went to the safe side. But then when I realized you had people like actually knowing, like, geez, golden dip. Nah, we gotta change that. When I change it, I'm gonna change the craft. I'm gonna change. I want my pancakes to sit high. So I done developed a strong technique that I want my pancakes to rise. I want them to have layers. When I hire new cooks in the kitchen, I do them first on omelets, because my omelet has to look a certain way. My pancakes have to look a certain way. I have one person besides myself that makes the waffle mix, because that's how much I believe in it. I believe that it can be patented, but it's just not the right time. It still needs some tweaks and errors. But I feel better about my food because that's me. That's me. I know even still, like she said, I can do a recipe book, but I know I sat back and I watch YouTube. I did go to culinary school. I went to Stratford. Just kept on getting talking about these nails. I love nails. I was really rebellious at that time. I was really rebellious. So I wish, honestly.
No, you would have you would have got put out.
Yeah,
I put you out. I was serious about that. I put you out.
The nails was a big thing, and I didn't. In my mind, like she said, it was a huge experience, but I didn't appreciate that experience at the time. So I rebelled in a certain way that caused me to open up the cafe young, because I felt like they couldn't teach me nothing. That wasn't the case. It just was, I didn't want to change these daggone nails. I just didn't want to change them. I felt like
so she became an entrepreneur because she wanted to rebel against the system. Awesome.
I wanted to beat the system. Like, I'm going to be in my own kitchen with nails on.
Right.
And one person that I idolized from the time she was in the music industry and to now was Khalees. I love her. Like, you go my I love her. I love everything. And she's my school now. She's my school. I look at her on YouTube, and also I'm starting to do a lot of hands-on classes. I want to learn how to make my own pasta. I want to learn how to be extra. I want to do my own coffee. I want my own coffee line. So it's so much errors that I want to do. I write all day, every day. But the food is just forever young. It's a theme. It's dealing with cereal. It's dealing with Asian twists. I love Asian food. I love Asian style. My background, Trinidadian, my father's side of the family. That came out late, but now I see where a lot of bold spices come from that I like to play with. So that was embedded in me. Something that I knew nothing about, but now I see where those strong flavors come from that I still can play with, that a lot of males in the kitchen, they are strong with spices, they're strong with meats, and I feel for me, and I had taste meat in 5 years, I still do a pretty little good job with it.
5 years?
5 years. Woo. It's been 5 years. My daughter will be 5 February the
12th.
So
So you cook meat at the restaurant, but you don't eat it
all day, every day.
So how you know it tastes good?
I smell it. I got a smell in my head that the meat should smell like that every time.
Wow, that's crazy.
I like that. That's deep.
Smelling meat.
Even with my sauce, even with my sauces.
I like how you said that.
Even with my sauces, if they're making shrimp and grits, I tell them toss it out because the sauce smell like the acidity is up too high. Like the heat done burned out a certain flavor. Like it's a nose
you is
thing
no
that
joke.
I honestly play with. And they like when they
You-
first
so,
started, they like,
so you like a baby Chef Ramsay?
Nah, I'm baby Chef Chris.
Hey.
Right.
She said she in her own lane.
I'm a woman at the end of the day. I can't be compared to a man.
Oh, excuse
She told
me.
you. And you're the only man up in here. Don't be coming for us.
I can't win.
Don't
Very
come.
superior.
Don't come.
Look, I'm
for us.
happy that
So
she
sorry.
cooked the,
I love my women.
I wish she would have cooked the pie though. That's what I was waiting on. I'm
Come
gonna
past
have to go.
Thanksgiving,
I'm
you
gonna come
walk on
past
2
that.
miles away.
Look, I'm gonna come up there and grab a pie.
Okay.
Do you serve that at the
Specials. I do a lot of specials.
specials? Okay.
Ever since I opened up the private chef portion, a lot of the customers like, I want what you making on Instagram. And I'm like, I'm making a special to see how it's gonna do. So I started playing with. I started taking the pictures, putting it up on Instagram, doing a poll. You like it, you love it. If I get 80%, 100%, I'm making it. And now it's been.
See, that social media, it could,
Social media.
it helps out a lot. It has its,
It
you
has
know,
its perks.
pros and cons.
You gotta know what to give and what not to give. That's the only thing. A lot of people, to me, with social media, get confused once when they start putting too much personal. But if you keep
Absolutely.
it business, if you keep everything business and give them a little taste, that's what I call it, just a little taste of who you are.
So you
A
like to
person can
tease
sum up.
people?
It ain't so much teasing.
No, I do this. I do the same thing for my show.
I don't want to be an open book. I want to be a mystery.
Right. Okay, got you. That's
Till
different.
this day, people be wondering, is she in a relationship or not? You don't know.
Look, we talking about food. We is not talking about no love.
I'm talking about being private on social media and
I feel you. I feel
giving
you on that.
giving people a little bit. You know, they don't have to know everything because the thing about social media is that everyone's entitled to their opinion.
True.
You know, and I have a problem if somebody come on there and say something. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, it's like I put it out there, so they have the right to say what they have to say.
You open the book.
Can't get me
Right.
a chapter or
Right,
book
but
be over.
business wise, I think it's genius.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
business
I think
wise,
it's
I don't
nice
think
what
it
she
should
doing.
be no level because it's a business, so it should be ran like a business. So it shouldn't be no level of hidden errors of what you're doing. You seem like, but as far as a personal, if you're a chef inside your business, like for instance, mine is kind of tricky. Even with theirs, it's tricky because you're the face and you're the brain. Like you're the brand, you're the face. It's so much going on, and you have to know.
Yeah.
How to carry
Even on
yourself.
my personal page, I still have to.
Watch what she
Watch
says.
what I
you
did.
say.
Yeah.
Right,
Because
absolutely.
My page is on 1,300, but I mean 1,300. But you go to my business page, it's 14,000. That's
Yeah.
That can do a lot to my business just by looking at me, just by looking at things that I say. So I have to watch what I do. But day that I'm not feeling good, I don't go to social media because I might put something out there that I don't want to put out there. I might be too vulnerable. So it's a lot of things. And I sat back 2 years really and watched people and watch what people did and mistakes that they made and like why you do that. But at the end of the day, you're human. It's not no room for me to judge. It's just room for me to check my errors and know what I'm not going to do. And if I do it, how to act upon it.
Yeah, I did that for, you know, God rest his soul. I had a co-host and he died a couple of months ago. And I'm the type of person, I've had a couple of deaths in my life, but I never posted it. And I struggle with posting something about him because I'm personal like that. But because he was well known in Baltimore and a very funny guy, I went ahead and did it, but I did put a little disclosure and told people like, you know, I don't typically do any of this, but I want to pay my respects to, you know, what he's given to the show and his fans. I said because you wouldn't know, people know, you wouldn't know if I'm beefing with somebody or not. I don't do any of that. You know what I'm saying? I keep that very private. To me, I feel like if I need to share that, I'll share that with somebody that's my friend. I don't need to go on social media and tell half the people that I don't even know. You know, I go vent to my homegirls or whatever, or talk Nick's ear off. You know
what I do? I tell people inbox me. Inbox me. We ain't gonna beef all out in the public. Inbox me or call me.
Right, because it's just it's childish, but this new generation is
they feed
different.
on that.
Yes,
It's like negativity outshines positivity all the time.
It always been like that. You just got to work around.
Yeah, so I don't do negative.
So let's get into some of these topics. All right, so we did kind
I
of
got
cover
a
a little
topic.
bit about
Can I hit my topic?
what What are you?
How do y'all feed a fat man to make him skinny?
You know what? Oh my goodness, that's gonna
Hey,
take.
That's a real question.
A real question.
Right,
That's
so-
a real question.
yeah,
You're
that-
not playing.
Okay.
I'm not playing.
Okay.
So now, first of all,
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
see, that's just the key to it. If you're trying to get skinny, then you have to change your mindset on what you eat.
Yes.
So it's not necessarily, like
fried
for
foods.
example, when there's certain things I decided to take out my diet, my mindset was stuck. I said I'm not going to do that again, and that was my mindset. So if you are really ready to lose weight, then your mindset has to change. Meaning that, hey, guess what? You can't have cornbread pizza, but can
Yeah,
you have
put
a
it
plate
down,
of
Nick.
quinoa?
You can have a
can.
salad.
You can have a salad.
A
Can you have a
smoothie.
cookie? No, you can't have a
I ain't
cookie.
doing no smoothies.
See,
Put that cookie
but
down.
there's-
Put the cookie
There's
down.
lots of different ways
They
that
tear
you
my
can
stomach
offset
up.
that.
What you put in it?
I don't know, but smoothies tear me down.
You gotta go to Jamba Juice.
Jabba juice? That don't even sound right.
But that makes sense. You have to change your mindset
Yeah.
first.
You gotta be
Yes.
ready.
Yes. But that actually was one of the topics. It wasn't about losing weight. It was about healthy eating.
Mhm.
What's healthy? And then on tips on how families can cook healthy on a budget.
So I think.
Go ahead.
Okay, so
yeah.
I think it being, I've been married for 14 years. I'm looking at you like you know what I'm saying. I've been married for 14 years, so 2019 will be 15 years. But before I got married, I was a single parent because I had both of my kids very young. So a lot of things I learned on how to eat healthy on a budget was from my mother, of what not to do, because the thing she did was, like, for example, you can get macaroni and cheese for 69 cents at the time.
Mhm.
You can get a pack of hot dogs for 2 packs for $1 at the time. I know I'm speaking to my age, but that's how much it cost at the time. Pack of Kool-Aid, you can get a whole 10-pack for $1 and
Kool-Aid,
10 cents.
boy. We used to cut out. My mama used to have us cut them little points out.
Oh no, really?
You remember that? They used to have us cut it out trying to get little stuff, and I don't think we never got any of it. And I might have to call my mama and ask her.
But we did a lot of things that we shouldn't have done because that was what she thought was a better alternative to go in a budget. What I learned was how to shop at different places. So what I would do, for example, I would go to Walmart, I would go to Giant, I would go to Safeway. I mean, not those when they had sales. They weren't always particularly budget friendly, but I would do the things that I know I would have to shop around to get what I wanted to make sure my family was eating well and healthy. And my kids are much older now, but I do the same thing for them now. So say, for example, Aldi's is a good alternative.
Yes, I started going there a couple of times. I like Aldi.
They're a subsidiary of Trader Joe's.
I was gonna say.
That's it.
And they're all organic, right?
Not all
Not
organic,
all.
but they have
Yeah.
lots of organic options. They
absolutely.
have gluten-free options. They have vegan options. They have vegetarian options. And you go in there and you decide, hey, this is what I'm going to plan out to for my family this week, and this is the budget. Budget could be 50, 60, 70, whatever your budget is, and stick to that budget. Don't deter from that budget and plan your meals out. So you can't just say, you can't ever go to the market hungry. Don't go to the market hungry
Right.
because everything looks good. Give your child a snack, give them some gum, give them a lollipop or something while you're taking it with them so they won't pull everything into the cart and you'll be tempted to go outside your budget. But there's other alternatives that you can do besides getting things like oodles and noodles, you know, hot dogs. There's other alternatives to that.
And so for healthy eating, I mean, it's really important, especially in the Black community, to, I guess, get away from the stereotype that you can't be Black and eat healthy. You know, or for some reason that you're, you acting white. This is the misnomer, I mean, that has plagued our community, for us to choose, unhealthy foods. And that's what's killing us disproportionately, with heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, right? Cancer, because there are a lot of cancer-fighting foods that you can eat. That broccoli, cauliflower, all your cruciferous
A quick
vegetables.
question, real quick, before when you talk about broccoli and cauliflower and stuff like that, what's the best way to cook that to still keep the nutrients?
Well, certainly, you can roast it, you can saute it lightly, or you can just certainly, what we say, steam it.
What takes from it?
So
when I think take from it is when they put that cheese,
right? Yeah,
cheese on top of it. Does it take away from?
Well, actually, you're adding a lot more fat, so you're adding more calories.
Okay,
right?
But it's
it's different things. If you want to shave a little Parmesan on top, you don't have to drench stuff. When you eat salads, you don't have to drown your lettuce with the dressing. If you're trying to eat healthy, then you want to stay away from a lot of the ranch, the buttermilk, blue cheese dressings, the French dressing. No, yeah, you want a vinaigrette. You want a vinaigrette. You want some oil and some vinegar. Now, there's so many different types of vinegars. You can find out what you like.
Balsamic vinaigrette?
Well, balsamic, red wine, rice wine.
That's the one we know
but. So the whole idea of eating healthy is it's changing the mindset to say, I'm going to eat foods that are going to give me energy, maximize my energy levels. I have again, I come from old school. My mother, my parents, my grandmother, they fed us breakfast. We had some oatmeal in the morning. We had a boiled egg and toast. We had a meal before going to school. So I get up very early in the morning. Sometimes I'm driving down the street and I see kids, with bags of chips in their hand. It doesn't have any nutrients. So black folks really have to think about how to change their eating habits for a better life. And it doesn't have to be expensive. Now, yes, sometimes, some of the ingredients are cost prohibitive. So you need to pick and choose.
You got the convenience if they're rushing. They
Correct.
Don't have time.
Yeah, don't have time. You got to plan.
Boil an egg.
So thinking about what it is you want to do. So you can get a whole chicken and cut it up yourself, right? And save on the price of having the individuals. But we've gotten away from the whole idea of just cooking, So there's lots of choices, but it requires sometimes research
and knowledge.
Yep, asking somebody else, and trying some new things. People get stagnant. Also, all I eat is chicken, or all I like is, or some beef, and they don't want to try some other things. So in culinary school, we learn about different cooking techniques, right? So you can broil, you can oven bake, you can saute. Roast. It's so many different things than always you got to fry your fish. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's so many different types of fish. And so in terms of moving, again, changing that mindset and moving beyond of what I guess it's always been. People, we don't like change most of the times. And so it's just, taking a chance and saying, you know what, I want to eat differently. I want to live a little bit longer. I want to feel better. Because honestly, when I look around, that's one of the things why we like making things from scratch, because you can taste the difference. Mm-hmm. When the food is prepared from scratch, knowing how you're using the ingredients, and
what's in it.
Yeah, what's in it. But processed foods specifically are killing us, full of sodium. That's salt.
And some of the stuff that it's not just the process; it's the other stuff that they put in the meats and stuff. Because
Oh,
you have
the
some of
anti-
these young
so-
ladies that look grown.
Oh my goodness! Well,
Like,
that's
oh.
absolutely. So
The
you know,
fast food
coming on their cycle so very early. You know,
something?
yes.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I mean, you know,
I'm
I always
outnumbered,
can get graphic. I
fellas.
was a late bloomer.
They're talking
I
about
started
good
mine when I was
and
14.
eating.
You know?
I was
And so-
14 when mine started.
This is
15.
something I don't
But-
want to know.
Okay, but it's important.
But now
it's
I don't wanna know
important.
when you
It
go.
is important for our
hormones.
listeners.
The
course a baby
hormones
will be
that
shocked.
they are putting in the food.
Makes your period change.
This is, it does.
It does.
I mean,
Yes.
it's
That's crazy.
it's in the milk. It's in
Chicken.
the meat. So buying. Sometimes you might have to splurge on certain products and ingredients, and going to the store more often. I know. About food stamp. Well, back in the day, we had stamps, the actual paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
the actual paper. We didn't have a card.
Looking like
The
Monopoly
colors.
money.
What?
You got the colors.
What? So,
Yeah.
but that once,
I don't know enough
that
about
once
those.
a
I
month,
really-
I get it.
I hear
The
stories
people
of my aunts.
are struggling.
And you better
And-
not take the top of the first sheet.
Oh,
Oh,
You better not
what?
take that cover off.
What? Back in the day.
When you had a $5 food stamp, you was rich.
Yes.
So, but
Yes.
it's making the choices. So it's important to sit down and certainly create a budget. In the Black community, we don't want to talk about money. We don't want to think about finances, and so all of this is tied together. Food and has a significant part to play in our life. It affects everything. That's how I think. It affects everything. And so, when you're hungry, I get it. Children can act out.
Yes. Yes.
Bad behavior. They don't. It inhibits their learning. All sorts of stuff. But taking the time to sit back and say, you know what, I want to change this one thing. When I try to tell, especially young kids, try one food item that you've never tried before. Ask your parent, to just get one ingredient that you might be curious about, and just try that, and then see, But eating healthy is extremely important, and it needs to be really a priority made in our community.
In the community.
Yeah.
Right. On that note, we're going to go take a break. Nick, you can take us on a music break, please. Or are you still over there eating?
so we could get together. You need me too.
I'm always rocking with DJ Black
DMV, Atlanta, Baltimore, Vegas. Everybody that's out there listening, you're listening to Karma's Come Around on Mix Station Radio.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Karma the Media Diva, and you're tuned in to Karma's Come Around show here in Baltimore Mix Station Radio. Also, we are airing out in Atlanta through IBNX Radio Network. I hope you guys are tuning in. We are pretty much done eating. Chef T over here still eating on her mac and cheese because she just told me she only eat her mac and cheese twice. You got some on you got some on your you just up and she ate. She said, I ain't letting that go to waste. I'm still going to eat it.
I am not ashamed.
She said, this will not be no food desert today.
Right. Heck no.
Absolutely not.
I am so enjoying this. This is my first Thanksgiving special. I tend to try to have 2-hour specials, throughout the year. I appreciate you ladies coming here and us,
Thank you for the invite.
No problem.
Awesome. Yeah.
And like I've said in the post, just fellowshipping on Black excellence, and for the concept of sitting at a table and eating and enjoying each other's conversation. I remember you, Chef T, saying that that's what you love to do. I believe you at your cafe, you offer people can come in and get taught. Like they can cook a dish, and and then you all still
cooking
sit
classes,
cooking classes, and you still sit down.
So at the end of the actual, guests preparing the meal, so we do chef demonstrations where, April and I will do all the cooking, and everyone can taste and sample, and still we're fellowshipping. They can ask questions. We give out recipes and all that, but we have hands-on classes as well. And we like to really do like cooking parties, people who want to bring in, family and friends, or, date night, or groups of other couples. And we will design a menu. You actually cook it. Now, we're going to be guiding you through, but you are slicing and dicing and, putting everything together. And then at the end, we sit down at our communal tables, and we have the meal family style. Mm-hmm. And it's a beautiful thing.
It is. And that was one of the things that I wanted to discuss tonight, of the importance of families sitting down and eating versus watching TV. And I must say, I've done it, plenty of times, not knowing any better, because, again, when you're raised a particular way, and if you're not taught different, when you end up having kids, you end up repeating the same thing. But now that I'm, a whole lot older, my kids are older now, but now, like, when they come home, it's like, we sit down and we eat, together. But I think back, like, dang, I should have did that when they were younger. Mm-hmm. But it's very important, especially now, because everyone is down looking at their phones now. Right. That's it. Mm-hmm. So, let's go around and just discuss, what your thoughts about, sitting down and eating as a family.
Sitting down eating as a family means a lot to me, simply because I wasn't raised with neither one of my parents. My aunt raised me, and she got me at 6 years old. And when she moved me into her household, it was a whole different structure. So she opened that book, even though it was just me and her in the house, but she sat down with me at the table. Mm. She ate with me. She introduced me to a lot of new things. Now, was it on the homemade side? No, she was more so, food does it. She was, quick things, but the importance of sitting down, knowing who I was, knowing how my day was, asking me what was going on with me, that meant a lot. Now, with fast forward with me and my kids, due to my busy schedule, I do, however, at least try to cook at least 4 times throughout the week. My kids remind me and my husband, y'all sit at the table? And they 8 and 4. That's the funniest thing ever, especially my daughter. Like, she's like, Ma, you ain't going to go upstairs. I'm like, oh, God, they make me feel bad. Like, after I done prepared this meal, you sitting down at the table. It's like, no, y'all miss it. Like, I need y'all at the table, so I understand that it really means a lot. I wish I was as blunt as her when I was little. Where you going, Ma? You need to sit at this table. But it means a lot, and it's a big necessity in households. You get to know your kids more. You get to know what they're going through. They're not going to be quiet at the dinner table. The dinner table, everything comes out at the dinner table. Somebody's telling on somebody from my experience as kids. He did this. No, I didn't. You did this. And we be looking like, if we ain't ever sat at this table, we wouldn't have none of that.
Right.
So it brings, the dinner table is open discussion. That's part of the reason why I like hosting dinners. I love dinners. That's one of my fun things to do. I'll throw a dinner up on Instagram, like I'm having a dinner, rent out a beautiful house, and I just like to host.
Didn't you just do that?
I just did
recently?
one.
Right.
In Fells Point. Mm-hmm. And it was really beautiful, and I just want to know who's going to come through the door and sit at the table with me to see what I'm cooking. It's just, it's a whole different atmosphere at the dinner table. The dinner table is an open book. It's open for discussion. People feel comfortable, just like here. I was nervous at first, but then talking, you're getting full, you're getting water, but still,
I made the water, y'all.
It's really good,
it's
but
delicious.
it's refreshing.
I have put cucumbers.
Yes,
I put cucumbers and lemons
but
in it. So
the dinner table,
I'm proud of myself.
It gives it gives you a sense of belonging. Like you belong to something. Like it's just not you're an outcast. The dinner table is come together.
It's a togetherness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think for me, the dinner table was not so much of self-absorption. You're not being so self-absorbed with yourself. You're going to interact and be absorbed in someone else's situation, someone else's emotion, someone else's day. And I think that's way more important. And now in this day and era where everything is about me.
And the internet.
And it's not real. It's fleeting. It's in that moment. But when you're with your family, you're at that table, you're in that moment. You are experiencing your loved ones. And I think that's very important. And you're getting to know them. I mean, you can have people in your family that you're around on a consistent basis and don't know anything about them. Mm-hmm. So I think that's important for the to sit down at the dinner table.
Yeah, I mean, well, again, I grew up eating at the dinner table. We had to set the table, so etiquette. My grandmother certainly would just say, pull out the china, set the place settings. That was a memorable part of my childhood. But we ate together as a family. Almost every night. I love seeing my sister and her family. I don't have any children, so I have nieces and nephews. But my sister, in particular, they eat together. My niece and nephew together set the table. I mean, placemats. Seriously. And she doesn't even have to say it. She was like, "Okay, guys, dinner is ready," and it's automatic. They get up, go to the drawer, pull out placemats, set it, and she puts food on the table. So that is and she just moved. Well, they moved to Atlanta last year, and so I went this past August to visit, and it was just so wonderful to see. We're extremely close, but that is important because most times I'm by myself in the house. Mm-hmm. And I'll pull up. I want to eat in front of the TV or something. Every now and then I'll sit at the dining room table and eat. But I think that is something that is definitely I keep coming back to the roots of who we are, really, as Black people. We have always cooked. We have always been in the kitchen. We have, we fed, other families. We took care of other families. And so when we have traditions of coming together, food is that central part of bringing people together to, yes, talk about your day, talk about your aspirations, talk about, just what's going on. Right. And so sharing a meal together, that's love. Really, that's what love is. And so, on the back of our menus, we specifically say, and we want our guests to come in and, talk to your neighbor, see what they're having so that, next time you can try that or whatever. But it starts conversation. We have a diverse population that comes in to Capara's Kitchen, and it's a wonderful thing when we, we can raise our head up from the stove and look over and see people communicating, strangers.
That's one thing
sometimes.
that was unique about your cafe. That was my first time going there. It was like a week ago, and the kitchen is right there.
Yeah,
So
you
can
see
look
it.
back, and she's back there. They're her and April back there cooking
Yeah.
and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, because usually the kitchen is kind of closed off, or you have this. I don't know what you call it, a window, but it's kind of like you can kind of see
blocker.
A blocker, right? But she don't
I think
have
the
none
Chinese
of that.
people started that.
Oh, they did.
Literally touched me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we wanted people to actually
To
see
see
us
Restaurant is like
cooking.
that? Okay.
And
Yours is next. Was next stop. That's where we got. to
yeah,
go. Okay.
and it's the whole, you know, but it's the whole idea. You know, I was always in the kitchen, so even if I go to my my friends' homes, you know, I gravitate to the kitchen. We might be sitting around the island, you know, or you know, they're coming into the kitchen to see what I'm cooking, asking questions. So that whole vibe, yeah, that's what the vision was for the cafe. That, you know, and sometimes, you know, it's like people don't realize that, yeah, we're actually cooking, and they want to come past the counter, you know,
Right.
they're walking right into. I mean, you can't come back here,
Right.
but eating together, yeah, that's the to me the universal language of love, because every nationality has some sort of tradition around food. And so, you know, I think we could deal with, you know, a number of issues in our community if we would come together at the table and talk and eat.
Right.
You know, that's what it's all about. And that's what, you know, Thanksgiving. I mean, giving thanks.
Right.
Giving thanks for I don't care, you know, whatever it is that you have to eat.
Right.
But giving thanks and praying. You know, praying over your food, and
man, I just started eating. I did not
you know,
pray tonight. My
What?
bad.
No, I prayed for y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I prayed for
Look,
you.
you ain't alone. Thank
I
you.
was hungry.
I'm just saying.
We all had that guilty face when she said
prayer. They looked
everybody
up.
put their head down.
Look, the food was smelling. I was hungry. I told you I only had a salad today. I
Yeah.
was saving room. I was saving room. Yeah. So we're about to
But,
wrap up in a few minutes. I would like for you guys to share whatever type of knowledge you think the listeners should hear. Whether if it's entrepreneurship, rather if it's following your dreams, because it seemed like, you know, it's not seem all of you, you know, took a leap of faith. You started out doing one thing, and this is where you at now. So whoever wants to start.
Well, look,
Chef T.
I think, you know, ultimately you need to be happy, and it starts with you, the individual, and so we all have gifts. The Lord has blessed us with something. Now you gotta tap into it to find out what your gift is. But I figured out that my gift is cooking. I got a lot of gifts, but I really, really, really know that my ministry is food, and I'm just so thankful that I took that leap of faith. That I didn't, you know, look, fear comes into play. You know, there's obstacles that's going to happen, but I haven't been as satisfied working for myself, being an entrepreneur. It's been just a wonderful thing. Yes, it's stressful, but you gotta believe in you, and having faith that you know what you're doing is the right thing. So yeah, Capera's Kitchen, 418 East 31st Street. We do brunch on Saturdays and Sundays from 9 to 3. We offer cooking classes, meal preparation services. We do some catering, but we really like private events. We like, you know, going to people's homes, but we want people to come out, try our food, and you got to be happy. I'm living my best life right now. I'm living my best life, and it, you know, it can only get better.
Only get better.
It can only get better. So, absolutely, Karma. Thank you for, having me, inviting me, for coming by, trying the food, for reaching out. Thank you for Shantae.
Yes,
I met her
Shantae.
before,
And she's the one who,
she was walking by. She was just walking by the cafe and happened to stop in. And I was in there because it's also during the week, it's a production kitchen. I opened the door and told her a little bit about myself. And, you came in. So that's a blessing.
Amen to that.
I would like to say, just stay true to yourself. And I really stress that, stand true to yourself and who you are and not changing, no matter what the change, not changing. I'm going to say not changing, but you can make alterations, because changing is basically changing into something that you are not. But alterations is fixing, tweaking, fixing things that need to be done, and it's still the same. I would say right now, where I'm at now, I'm in the process of living my best life. I can't fully say at 29 I'm living my best life, but I can feel that I'm on a venture to live in my best life if I continue doing what I'm doing. Also, just be you. Just be you. That's my biggest thing. Just be you. Stay true, and trust in God and trust the process. And I really thank you, Karma,
No problem.
for reaching out, for having me here, to giving me the opportunity, because for many times I have looked at Chef T. I actually saw Chef T as being a judge. So that was really like, I'm like, wow, she's gonna be there. It's like, you never know who you're gonna meet or who you're gonna run across. And when she was a judge, like, she was hard as hell. Like, I said, really? Like,
Oh my God, you gotta remind me.
We was at the a hotel. It was the down by Johns Hopkins University. What's that hotel down there? And you were on the judge panel.
Oh my goodness.
It's not a Hell's Kitchen. It was something like that where they had to cook a couple dishes, and we came because Cray had invited us. And when I looked and she was
okay.
I was like, this lady is critiquing the heck out of these people food, and she was serious. And I was like, ever since then I was following her, but like she said, she had done so many things, and that's a blessing. And I would love to.
Everything happens for a reason, right?
Everyone thinks I'm so mean. I'm not.
No, it was like you said, she's about her.
I'm
she's
serious.
About her she's serious, and I seen that day. I'm like, I gotta follow this lady.
She about her craft.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's your location?
Location is 2110 East Monument. We're open from Tuesday through Sunday, so we're open 6 days a week, from 8:30 to 6 on the weekdays and 10 to 3 on weekend.
Say the address again, because that's my
2110 2110 East Monument Street, Sunnyside Cafe, located directly across the street from Northeast Market. Come check us out.
Oh, you got the corner spot.
Yeah,
the old fish joint.
Pollock Johnny's and Chalmers.
Oh wow, okay.
You tell her I'm a true fat boy. She got the fish joint.
You was silly.
I think what I would like the listeners to leave with is put God first in everything.
Yeah.
Because that's when you're going to be able to find what you're meant to do. That's when fear won't be a director of your path. And that's when you're going to feel peaceful no matter what it looks like. Because sometimes when you go on this entrepreneurship journey, you're by yourself. You're all by yourself.
Preach, girl.
Sometimes even the closest people to you won't be the closest. The family members or the friends that say I'm with you won't be there because they don't understand your walk. They don't. It's very, very lonely at times. And even when you're at your loneliness, you know that when you have put God first and you heard his voice and he said move and you moved, then that's when the peace settles in.
Yeah. Obedience.
Amen.
Obedience.
It starts to get easier as the time goes on because somebody's watching you.
All the
Somebody's watching what you're doing, how you're moving. They're listening to your words. and they are sucking everything they can out of your experience because you are now opening the path for someone else to have an easier walk. Wow. So even though you feel as though that this is hard and it's going to be, it's not going to get easier. The journey's not going to get easier. You know that someone else is watching you. You're doing the best that you can, and you're putting God first. And so that's what really means something. So, that's all I would say, because fear is going to come in. Yeah. You're going to get scared. Right. You're going to mess up too. You're going to mess up a whole bunch. Right. You're going to mess up. You're going to mess money up. You're going to mess people's situations up. You're going to say something you shouldn't have said. Yeah. People always looking at you. You're going to do something you shouldn't have done. You're going to do that. But you're going to have to dust that dust off and keep on moving. Because it's going to be worth it in the end. It doesn't feel like it in the beginning. Right. But it's going to be worth it in the end. And then that's when people are going to want to get on your bandwagon. That's when they're going to want to be on your friends. And that's when they're going to see you. Them over there. Exactly. But he's going to put everything in place, especially if you're being obedient. Right. Those situations that you felt as though you couldn't do, bam, this popped up. And guess what? This happened. Oh, I didn't know how I did that because you were being obedient. Right. So it's an awesome journey, but keep on moving. Just keep on moving.
If I could add one thing too, just for Black women, we are phenomenal women, and so there's some awesome chefs in Baltimore, and I'm a part of a calendar called Just Call Me Chef, and this coming Monday, November 19th. Chef Cat has put together a pre-launch for the calendar. 12 Black women. I'm one of the women featured, but we have tickets on sale. We're going to be at Ida B's from 6 to 9 p.m. And you can get your tickets. You can get some samples if you get the VIP status. But pick up a calendar, right. And you get some recipes. You get some little information. But you have 3 women here tonight, but we're just a part of a contingent of chefs, Black chefs that are here in Baltimore, and we doing our thing.
I love it.
And it's we're here. We don't get the visibility as much. Right. But again, on behalf, I guess, thank you for the platform. No problem, right? No to problem. Share, to educate, to communicate. This is awesome.
I love it. Because we're about to wrap up. Mm-hmm. So the only thing that I wanted to share, as far as any knowledge, because I speak to my listeners all the time, but just being here with you ladies tonight, I would say one of the things is, if you're not doing it now, train your mind to start thinking positive.
Absolutely.
It's a habit, because we're so quick to think negative and doubt ourselves. And so just like if you're dieting or anything like that, start to train yourself to think positive. And I'm saying that because I'm in the process of doing that, and realizing that a lot of things that have happened in my life was because of what I was already thinking. And so now when things start to happen, I'm automatically thinking, okay, even though this is happening, what's the positive thing? Because there has to be something positive out of that. And then I take that and I feed off of that. And then loving yourself. Because as women, we grow up as Black women, we have a lot of struggles. And we go through a lot, but we go through those moments where we don't love ourselves. And
we wear a lot of hats, and we forget about ourselves, who we are. And we got to feed ourselves and nourish ourselves. Right. But and you got to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Yes.
Everybody's not meant to be in your space.
Right. Yes. And we try to hold on to that because because of the, I guess you want to say, loyalty, but you have to look beyond that. And you you were speaking it earlier. When you was just saying about
profound
people that you think was supporting you or supposed to supporting you. Closest people end up not being the people.
None of them there. None.
It's
and that's okay.
And that was hard.
And that's
okay.
and that's okay.
That's
and
okay.
you don't get mad about it.
Right.
Just keep on moving and you know, you keep
and be
pushing.
thankful.
Yeah.
You were saying thankful about Thanksgiving. That's something else I'm working on. Being thankful. I have a journal, and in that journal, I miss a couple of days, but I'll go back, and it's been like I would say at least every 2 or 3 days I'll go to that journal, and I just specifically write down what I'm thankful for and what I'm going to be thankful for, because I'm speaking it into existence. Right. That's it. Have to. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming tonight. I appreciate it. The food was good.
Yes.
I have some people that's been texting me talking about if there's some leftovers.
Nope.
Please get some leftovers.
It's gonna cost you.
But you guys, definitely, Chris Styles, your place is next. Your cafe is next. I'm gonna definitely come up and check you out.
See, now I gotta do my rounds.
Right.
What?
I'm gonna stop over there.
What?
That's
You
me my
better
job.
stop. You better stop. Look, a customer came in quickly. They came in on Sunday, and this man said, "I'm ashamed that it took me so long to get here." He said, "I didn't know what I was missing."
The pictures are
You know, so you got to.
Which one of y'all do the French toast with something with crunch or something? Captain Crunch. That was you? Okay, gotta try that. Oh my God,
That's the young. That's
I
the
think
young at heart.
I think I've been seeing her stuff and didn't know.
Knew it was her.
How about that?
Right.
In my hood.
Right.
What?
And I seen the name. I'm like, Sunnyside Cafe. I say, oh, there's some Chinese people over there.
yeah.
So I ain't never go over there. I swear to me.
That's something. We gotta stop and look.
I'm
And say,
thinking.
what's happening?
Because you think Chinese people got everything on Miami Street. Because I'm from my hood.
Right. And why not? Why can't we have some good stuff in our hood?
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm right off of Greenmount.
Absolutely.
Right off of Greenmount
Oh,
Avenue.
I'm going to be there.
See?
Trust me.
You know? But
Because I eats every day. Can't you tell?
I'm done with Nick.
Don't judge me. I'm just saying.
So, everybody, good night. Real quick, if you're traveling, you need to hit me up because your girl's a travel agent now.
Uh-oh.
What?
All right.
Every month you got a new hustle. Every month you be
I
switching
be
up.
trying to make some money. And now my next goal, I'm going to start traveling. Watch.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
so hit me up. Okay, I'm going to have my site. Shantae going to hook me up. I have my site up, by Friday, Saturday?
Look, y'all already got mapped out planes and everything.
Yes.
That's what I love it, though. I love it.
that's another thing. We got to travel.
Yeah, gotta enjoy the world.
You must.
So make sure y'all hit me up on my DM on Instagram.
Some different foods anyway.
Yes, hit me up on my Instagram at Karma's Come Around or at Karma the Media Diva. We out. Baltimore, Atlanta. Love you guys. Peace.
Peace.
You're listening to IBNX. IBNXradio.com.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to Karma's Come Around with your girl Karma the Media Diva. You can catch tonight's live show next Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, keep your ear to the airwaves because a new live show will follow at 8 p.m. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Karma's Come Around. This is our truth. What's yours?